Hello. I was thinking about this quite a number of times over the last while, and I thought to share this on a Facebook Live video for everybody, and then feel free to tag someone that you think would be interested in this kind of message, and yourself, of course. If you have any questions or comments on it, please let me know. And it's about, I was introduced to a concept and principle in athlete development, physical preparation, effectively done, that is, quite a number of years ago by Ian King, and it basically says mixed training will give you mixed results. And what that means is everything that you do in your physical training or activity or exercise is going to give you a certain kind of response, a physical result in what you're capable of doing and how the body is responding to that kind of training or exercise. So if it's strength training, it's, if you're lifting heavy, for example, or if you're doing body weight exercises, you're doing 50 repetitions, they're going to give you very, very different physical responses. And as such, it's going to give you a slightly shifted ability to perform in sport or activity or life. So we use that same principle. And the general fitness population, okay, you change your rep sequences, or you change your rep protocols, your exercise sequence, the days you train, even rest periods, whatever variable you're going to play with. If you're always doing something different, or you're trying this program and that program without giving time, you're not really going to get far in one physical quality. You're going to get a little bit here and a little bit there. And especially if you don't know what to track, then you really won't know how quickly you can improve in the area, and even if you're really improving that much at all. In fact, sometimes you can go backwards. Frequently you can go backwards. So how do we apply that into other areas of life? For example, our state of awareness or our nutrition. The state of awareness is if you become aware of a part of your life that isn't flowing the way you want it to, or you have a relationship with betrayal or abandonment or rejection or your level of self-worth, which are those big key human wounds, if you want to call them that. The big rocks. And you find out, okay, I have a relationship with betrayal, and I should really look at it. Ooh, but that's a nice, bird or something over there, so I better check that out as well. And you're never going to dig. And so you might become aware of it and say, oh, I'll file that for another time, or I'll do a little bit. No, that was enough. Oh, where would I feel betrayed in my life? Well, this one time, in my life, this happened and I felt betrayed. Oh, okay, and then you move on to the next thing. What I suggest is to not jump into other things, because that's mixed. You're mixing your focus. Dig down once you become aware of something, so you can genuinely resolve it and step in a new state of awareness. You want to mix everything around. You want to play a this, play a little bit of that. So there's great value in that. On the flip side, you don't always have to go deep on something. In awareness, one of the best things that you could do, if you don't want to dig, or if you don't know necessarily a way to that's going to be effective, which of course, if you want, I have lots of ideas on that. Feel free to send me a note or comment below here. So if you don't want to go dig, and you just want to touch on the surface or do the one thing that's going to give the biggest result without needing to know a lot of information, that one thing I would say is presence of mind. And whether you're doing a meditation that's eyes closed, whether it's guided, or whether you're just sitting there, listening to the sounds around you, or feeling your own breathing, or going for a walk in nature and just simply enjoying the presence of the moment, if there's the only thing that you did, there could be huge value in that. Now on to nutrition. Principles could be, for example, let's say you wanted to improve your digestion. And so you try maybe a little bit of probiotic for a couple of days. And you didn't notice an immediate difference. So, maybe I need to drink more water. You try to drink a whole lot of water. You go from, a liter a day up to, 4 liters a day. And you do that for a few days and you feel kind of bloated and gross, because that's the response oftentimes. And so, well, that didn't work. So do you understand what I'm saying about mixing the protocols and the procedures over? And you do a little bit of this and then you come out. And then you do a little bit of that and come out. And you'll give it time to do its job, to work. So if you want to repair your digestion, find a strategy that has been shown to work or if you're talking to people that who's a professional in the area, and stick with it, at least for a period of time that's reasonable. A week, 2, 3, 4, depending on your strategy. Longer, 6 months, 8 months, if you're dealing with a more of a significant issue. And when you can do that effectively, then you will know if something's working or not. And not only that, you won't have to jump ship if it's not giving you the exact return, assuming that you know what to track with that. Because you'll say, okay, these are the protocols I'm following for helping with my digestion, and I think this one might be giving me a response that's healthy, but the other ones aren't, so I can tweak that. Stay on the track, but adjust the strategy slightly while you're still on that path of repairing your digestion in this example. Hi, Tori. So we took physical preparation strategies, principles of mixed training gives mixed results. If you don't focus on one or understand the impact of one, you'll get a little bit of everything. Onto your awareness. The point about becoming aware of something that's deeply important to you, that's affecting you, perhaps negatively, and you just become aware of it, and then you say, okay, well, that was good to know, I'll move on to the next thing because I don't really want to go there. Okay, fine. Was there a benefit in becoming aware of it? Yeah, for sure. But as soon as you jump to the next thing without getting some major traction on that, you're just bouncing your focus around, never getting some massive resolution. Now, I'm assuming you want change, healthy change. If you have something that's great and you want more of it, well, then that's great. Then you want more of that. I fully support that. It's fantastic. So that's the awareness part. The nutrition part is follow a protocol. If you need to follow a protocol, the example that I used was digestion. If you need to follow a protocol to help with your digestion, follow for a period of time so that you know it's working. Don't just bounce around, try one thing for a couple of days and try another thing for a couple of days. That's not really the point. Your body needs some time to respond, and for you also to learn how your body responds to a stimulus. So if we go back, I'm going to go through the same cycle in another way. So we're going to use flexibility training for your physical. Now, flexibility training is different than stretching for 10 seconds before your workout, or after your workout, or throughout the day. That's a completely different game. And I don't want to get too much in, I'm not going to get too deep into these. I'm just pointing them out as things that you might want to think about. Flexibility training is using your body and moving it in such a way that improves the quality of range and the quality of the tone of the tissues or the health of the joints. It may require, I say may, chances are it's going to require more than 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30-second hold. There's styles of yoga, there's styles of, I know different sorts of physical protocols will follow different parameters and principles, but basically flexibility training is using that as a training modality. So if you're going to go for a jog or you're going to go for a run, you're going to do it for a period of time. So I'm going to start stretching, and you stretch for 5 minutes. Okay, that was fun. You're not going to run for 5 minutes, generally speaking. So if you're going to do that, really dedicate some time to that. Really get into it and get something done with it. Instead of just dance on the surface and get that kind of result, which is not going to be a very solid result. Imagine stretching for 5 minutes, the kind of result you can get for 5 minutes, and if you stretch for half an hour, quality half hour, that's a different ballgame altogether. All right, so let's take this now into the awareness point. And we're going to use meditation as an example. Let's say, I need to start meditating. And you close your eyes, and then your mind starts to wander, as it does for most of us anytime we're going to do something like that. And it starts to wander, and then it goes into another area, and you sort of follow it around, and within 30 seconds or a minute, like, this isn't working. So, I don't know the definition of it, and I use that example because I hear that a lot. It doesn't work. Meditation doesn't work. And it's funny because meditation always works. It always works. It's just a matter of what your definition of working is. Same diets always work. They just give you a response. They give you a result if you do it long enough. So to find out if the meditation is going to be valuable for you, and it's also different protocols of meditation. There's so many ways to become aware. Whether it's aware of your own body, aware of your environment around you, aware of your thoughts, aware of how you're feeling and your emotions. And what will happen frequently is if you're trying to resolve or be in a relationship with your own emotions, as soon as you become aware of an emotion that might be slightly uncomfortable, we'll just want to say, well, okay, maybe not. I've had enough of that. Okay, that was good. And then you move on to the next thing. Again, you don't really dig. You don't get something done out of it. There are ways to do that. Obviously, I worked with clients for now 20 years on this. 21 years this coming year. In different protocols, in different areas of this. Like not just meditation for 20 years, for sure. So that's the awareness part. And then in nutrition. Let's say you have an idea that perhaps you don't tolerate gluten very well. You don't know if you're full-on, genetic celiac, if it's the quality of the gluten that you're receiving, because I've had many clients over the years that they eat gluten from one source and they have a physical response that they may not prefer. If anyone's had that response, you know what I'm talking about. And then they'll eat gluten from another source and they won't have any response, i.e. they won't get the bloating or the gas or all these other kinds of things, like rashes and things that can happen. So in that respect, it's not the gluten, it's your body's response to a stimulus. And when you understand how to manipulate the variables around where you're getting your foods from, perhaps even the time of day, is your system compromised? Is your digestive system compromised? Is your immune system compromised? There's a lot of variables in that. Is it high stress? People that experience high stress over a long period of time will tend to have a harder time with digestion, as a general observation. So these are the points. So going back to the original point why I started doing this live today, was the idea of mixing our focus and just sort of pulling it a little bit here and pulling it a little bit there. You're always going to get a mixed result, a mixed response. You'll get a little bit of result here and then you'll get a little bit of result there. There's a time for that. But if you want to get traction, if you want to get movement, whether you want to really resolve something that's bothering you or you really want to create something that inspires you and you're excited about, then you're going to need to dig in and not dance around at all the leaves on a tree, but just really focus on one or two tasks or projects that is going to actually move the needle. If you ever need a hand on that, feel free to just fire me a note, no problem. There's so many resources available to you. Quick internet search will give you a lot of resources as well. Hopefully, again, you won't get distracted by all of them, because again, that's mixed focus, mixed results, right? You want to dial in and get something done with that. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. I've been noticing what made me think about it more in the past little while is I'm noticing people at the gym actually, and they go over here, they do a little bit of this, they do a little bit of that. One person I'll see exercise a certain way, and then 10 minutes later, a different exercise protocol that is actually not going to complement at all what they were doing before. And so they're going to do that for a period of time and not really get that far. Then the motivation drops, which is not why someone starts. They don't start in order to lose motivation. They start because they're motivated. Now, if they just knew what to do to get healthy results over a long period of time and results that matter in the moment and the days and weeks to come, then they'd stay with it. They'd have a good experience and it would work. Same thing with our relationship with our awareness, our thoughts and our emotions and feelings. And when we do something that works, we get motivated and we want to do more because it works. We feel better about our life. Same thing with food. When we're eating something that is giving us an emotional experience that's healthy, and we like the flavor, we like the texture, and our body is responding to it in a way that we prefer, then that's a great thing. Then we're going to feel good about it. We might want to start to learn how to cook or try new foods or go to different restaurants or different recipes you want to share with your friends, whatever it is. Okay. Always a pleasure. These are the things that I've found that work well with people over the past couple decades, and haven't always got it right. Certainly got a lot of things down. I'm grateful for my mentors and teachers and guides that have helped me along the path. If this helps for you, if this is a bit of an insight for you, and if this has been useful, I'm very happy with that. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to comment below. Share the video, obviously, if you want to anyone that you feel will receive benefit from it. And we will talk again. Okay, lots of love to everybody. Bye.